Morales fly box. Today we're going to tie a pattern called the Mouline Midge. It's a tied with a common material, Mouline yarn, and I use it a little bit differently. I color it, and I get a special effect out of one type of Mouline cross stitch yarn. I use it. I make it out of the Pearlescent Effects E746, and it's an off-white color yarn, kind of like an ivory. It's got a pearlescent tint to it. It's almost like the Metallic Effects versions, but this is the only one that they make in this color. This has no additional color to it, just the pearlescent material. And what I do is I tie it in. I take about a 12-inch piece, 4 strands. I tie it in a loop overhand knot so I have something to hang it with, and I color it with a green Copic marker. I like Copic because it is a little bit more permanent than the Sharpie, and this is just a standard green in the standard set, but it brings a color of green in the pearlescent yarn almost exactly like peacock herl. Same color, same shade, same glistening. When you cover this with UV dub, it has a dark tone to it, but a pearlescent glint underneath, and you can actually see this thing flicker in the water as it drifts. Let's go over how I tie it. I use a size 16 standard caddis emerger hook, and a gold bead, gold tungsten. And I start my thread right behind the bead. This is A-dot. Try and talk and start my thread at the same time. This is A-dot uni. I'm going to start our thread. Then we're going to take a single strand of the Mouline, and we're going to tie it in right behind the bead of the hook. And we're going to wrap over it about halfway into the bend of the hook, and then bring your thread forward. And then you're going to bring that one strand forward, just one in front of the other. You're not going to build up a taper. You're just putting the color of this green pearlescent Mouline over the hook. And you're going to bring it up behind the bead. I don't worry about leaving any gap. You're going to put a collar on this fly, so bring it right up and tight behind the bead. And then trim off the excess. Next, you're going to put a small dab of UV bond, Bug Bond, UV epoxy, whichever one you prefer to use. They pretty much work all the same. I like to put a dot on top. And then coat it. Make sure I get an even layer with my bodkin. Don't worry if you get too much, you can take it off with the bodkin as well. Just wipe it clean. It'll acquire itself again. And if it looks like you got too much, and then you're going to hit it with your light. Only putting a thin layer on it. The next material you're going to tie in is black ice dub. I'm going to dub about just one pinch and put enough dubbing on there to cover maybe an inch of the thread. Not real heavy. I originally tied this as a caddis pattern, but then found that when tied in red and blue it made an excellent midge pattern as well. I actually fish it more as a midge now than a small caddis. Looks like I've got my bodkin too tight, or my bobbin. Give it a 3-turn whip finish. And there you go. Very simple pattern to tie. Provides a unique pearlescent finish underneath the UV bond, and it still shows the green. I tie this in red and blue. Fish it in 16, 18, and 20. It's a great way to use a very affordable and common material you can find in any craft store, Walmart, Kmart, anywhere. They all carry Mouline. Again, it's the 654, or before I misspeak, 746 pearlescent effects number of the Mouline, and with the green Copic marker. Hope it adds to your box. Good luck. See you in the water.